Yes, I now have background music. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it is the Monaco Grand Prix. I haven't even checked the screen type. Is it vertical or horizontal? Do I know? Let me actually check that. All right. I'm just gonna be quick with it, because I haven't even done the quali, the quali simulation. So we're just gonna run through it quickly. I'm still gonna be 50% race distance. Fondra, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry, man, but justice has to be served for like the rest of the grid, man. I'm so sorry. So yeah.
Mathew steering is broken down.
All right. So y'all know the drill. No, you know the drill. Yeah, y'all know the drill. Okay. Um, for those who don't know the drill, basically I do quick sim of quali, make sure that the top three are as it should be. So it should be Bardol, Ocon, Fondraroli. Um, yeah, so Bardol, Ocon, but no Fondra. So you have to redo that. That's better be quick, man. I really do not have the patience for another disaster class again. Okay, good. And I think the top four are even correct. That's so good. That's quite great. So do you guys see the importance of safety cars? And it's gonna be a dry race. Do I really care? No. Alright, I'm gonna try being enthusiastic here because it is the race start. If I do highlights eventually, this will be very important. And after the 5 lights go, we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. Ocon gets a great start, but so does Fonaroli. Fonaroli does not get. Fonaroli still passed by tap from Jupiter. But does he go for the move? Does he go for the back again? Ocon has great attraction here. Will he go for the move or will he hit the wall? And he's hit the wall again. And he's hit the wall again. And he's hit the wall again. And he's being passed by so many people here. At this point, I'm not even mad as long as yeah, occurrences. And Joe's actually managed to put his car into P3 again. So now it will be Renault versus Renault, Renault versus Renault. For P1, P2, Renault have managed to extract a great start out of this, being 1-2 going into the swimming pool section. Tanner Bardot in the lead of the race as it was before. So now Ocon will have to make the greatest recovery drive of his career if he wants to depose. And frick, my battery's at 5. Oh no. Okay, lock in now. So here we are with Harper Latte. At least Ocon's managed to stay ahead of Jupiter of tap from Jupiter. However, he has built himself a bit of a DRS when he immediately comes into the pits. I presume for the hot tire, but that will greatly disadvantage him going into the what do you call it? The I keep forgetting what is this name? Into the pit stop phase. So here they are, P19 and P20. Now, this might be the greatest strategy gamble of all time because we know around Monaco, the hard tire can go for very, very long. So they may even these two here, they may even be able to overextend their stint into the second stint, so that when they come in again, they come out quite highly. However, the thing is that they need to keep within, give or take, 15 seconds of the cars behind, in order to make sure that when Tenabado pits, he will come out behind them instead rather than in front of them to keep his win streak. So yeah, so these two, they seem to be out of the race right now, but do not count them out of the race here. Fondaroli is looking for P1 to extract to take the race win away from his teammate to get his second race of his career. Meanwhile, Joe is on the alternative strategies. The two J's, Joe and Joe, are both on the alternative strategy and are looking to possibly spoil the Renault 1-2 party. Now, can they do it? Is the real question. Now, as we are on board here with the Williams and the Mercedes, does Ocon barge here? No, he does not. Just looking behind here. This is the camera view I wanted. You can just imagine being the Williams and just seeing a freaking Mercedes and an AlphaTauri in your rear view mirrors. So long as Ocon doesn't make any, you know, life-threatening mistakes or anything like that, Ocon going outside into the braking zone is not able to get past Edward. But going into sector 3, does he hit the wall? He just barely misses, barely misses. But will he hit it here? No, he does not. Sector 3 is very scary around Monaco. That's something I can tell you for sure. Sector 3 in Monaco's scariest experience of my life, bro. In qualifying, Ocon actually only had 2 clean laps. It was his P2 lap and his another lap that he made before. The rest of it, as in like an hour and a half, all the laps he did not complete. So you can see here all these back markers are holding him up. However, around Monaco, since it is obviously very hard to overtake, you know, you obviously run the risk of when you do eventually overtake. I think he's harvesting this lap. So, but when you do eventually overtake, it is going to be quite hard. He's trying to find traction here into the chicane. Just can't seem to make the move. But I know going here, you run the risk into. You see these corners here. I don't know what they're called, but these corners here, like I get frightened every time a driver goes through these corners because, somehow whenever I view a driver, somehow they become cursed to crash in something. Maybe it's the TV thing, but that's something I've known. I keep on jinxing all of these drivers with my talk. But Ocon seems to be running closer. Does he go for the move? He does not. But if Edward does not go defensive, he will have the better traction. Edward just plants it on the racing line there, proving Ocon unable to make any meaningful gains here. I'm watching this battle up ahead as well closely between Fondraroli and Joe. Is Joe looking for a P2 finish? Best not be crashing. That's one thing I can advise someone to do. Best not crash. Yeah. Man. Already for all the Mercedes fans, this Monaco Grand Prix has gone off to an exceptional start, you would say. Oh. Yeah, going on to the straight. Now Tap seems to have the better advantage over Ocon here, as DRS is enabled, meaning that does Joe have DRS to Anthony Van Der? He does not have DRS, but Tap will look for a move. He's been given a 5-second penalty for a collision with Ocon, once again proving to ruin his race again. So will Ocon go for a move again into the corner? Yes, he does. He does go for a move into the hairpin. So all of that was really for nothing for the Alfa Romeo car here. But you know what? It was worth it in the end. You could say for him it was quite worth it in the end. Edward is on the soft tire, so he will have to pit sooner or later. And speaking of Edward, where is Ocon in relation to Edward? He doesn't seem to be quite that far back, actually. I hate how they don't show us the intervals here. They don't show us the distances between drivers. They don't show us the interval. What happens when a driver gets slapped, you may ask? We'll just never know the interval time. Your fault for choosing to sim using monoposto. Yeah, it's roughly 1 second. However, Joe and Fondra are still battling for that P2 spot as Tanabardo starts lap 8 quite nicely actually. So yeah, I do, but I think now at this point, I think I was expecting Ocon to be like P15 or something, you know. But now, yeah, no, he's out of it. He's definitely out of it right now. Going into here, maybe he'll have traction into the braking zone. No, he won't have traction into the braking zone. That's just an impossibility for him. So yeah, I believe Ocon's the only driver to have scored at every single race weekend so far. So maybe times have to change, eh? Maybe it's time for something. So you know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. And so this will give like a huge swing in the championship. By Tanner winning and by Joe being on the podium, this will now put them closer to Ocon here in the World Championship. So I guess it's destined for a Mercedes driver to have a bad Monaco race, but Ocon is on this guy's tail. Is really, really, really on this guy's tail. So Edward just needs to, and he doesn't. He goes defensive into the corner. What are you defensive for? Joe goes into the pits to change his soft tires for the medium. So we'll see now here. We'll now see here what will happen to him. Will he drop behind? I mean, the Mercedes, he's not going to be challenged by Ocon, definitely. Ocon's not going to do anything. But he just comes out right ahead of Parland Albano. So he's now the net P1 leader of the Monaco Grand Prix because everyone else in front of him has not pitted. So you might think, oh no, Joe's not out of the race. Well, unless, I don't know, a safety car happens to occur, which a safety car in Monaco will only be activated if there are 7 or more active penalties at the moment. And right now, we still need 6 more penalties for that proposition to even be considered. So no, it doesn't seem as though Joe is under much threat for his podium. It actually seems that he's gonna quite soon make a move on Joel here. Possibly going up into turn 1. Albano here is too far back to be considered. So yeah, but it seems that I think Joel's gonna go into the pits. Yes, he does. So Monaco now is now looking very realistic. It's not about the overtaking, it's about the strategy, la strategia, as you would say in Italian, or le stratégie, as you would say in French, which is the language of those at the top. P1 and P2 both drive for a French team. So yeah, will we see our 14th different race winner in Formula 170 this afternoon? But for me, it's night time. Or will we perhaps see something different? Well, Ocon and Edward have been coming to blows. Now, why hasn't Edward pitted? Okay, here we go. What is Ocon going to do? Ocon just can't seem to get the better of his former teammate, and Edward just parks it on the racing line as well. Defending like a lion. You can see in front of Edward there is super clean air. Like super clean air in front of him. Oh, Fondaroli is closing down on his teammate. He's looking to catch him. But I think, yeah, Fondra is catching him. I think it's because of back markers, and Fondra hits a back marker. He hits Anthony. See what I'm talking about? These back markers, man, they just want to park it on the track as if they own it. So now comes the issue of lapped cars. I think, yeah, that's Tanner about to lap Ocon, and he's hit the wall. And Tanner Bartol has hit the wall. He's gone straight on in the Monaco Grand Prix, and he's hit Fondaroli. Absolute shambles. And Fondra has now somehow managed to take the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix away. You know why? Because of Ocon. But I think they were going to pit anyway. This is just about who gets priority in the pits. So Tanner is going to extend for another lap. Just look at his car percentage. It's at 65%. That's not good. That's not something you want to see here. Meaning that he'll have to now like halt himself from being on the limit. Is that Tanner? That is Tanner. Here. So we might see 2 wins from Eric Little Things. But as usual, parks it on the racing line. There's no hope. There's no hope here. There really isn't any hope here. Important information. Joe is now ahead of Fondraroli, meaning that net 5 second penalty for Ocon for colliding with Edward while trying to pass him. So now Joe is essentially net P1, net P2, sorry. Yeah, net P1. Because it seems as though even if he pits, even when Tanner pits, which I think he's going to do now, he's going to come in for his pit stop. He is lucky that there was not a 5 second penalty for that. He's very, very lucky to have survived that. So he comes into the pits. We have Eric Little Things into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix as Hapalata also comes into the pits. So Joe is now on his next stint. Will Albano pass him? Albano does pass him. So Tanabardo in P5. Is his car fixed? Yes, his car is fixed. Juan Carrero also passes him. There's been a yellow flag in Sector 1 as well. I wonder what's happened there. Oh, tap from Jupiter has come in for his pit stop 5 second penalty for Rafael Gaetano for a collision with Vicky Alem. What these guys everyone here is coming to blows. So, like I said, the new FIA rule for Monaco is that there needs to be 7 or more active penalties. There needs to be 7, yeah. As soon as the amount of active penalties reaches the number 7, there will be a mandated safety car. Which I think there was more chaos during the safety car than when there was no safety car. So, and Eric Little Things extends his stint to 14 laps. Just by the way, 5 second penalty for Fondraroli for collision with Vicky and LM while trying to overtake him. So that's ruined his chances of a repeat race win. He's now roughly 2 seconds. Is that 2? No, he's 1 second behind. Passes the other McLaren of Brexon, I believe. And now he only has Joe in front of him. Meanwhile, yes, I do mean this. Meanwhile, you have here Eric Little Things with Joe right behind this scary entourage here. Oh, and he's defending, but Fondraroli, through goes Fondraroli, who now has a 10-second penalty instead of 5 seconds, because when he tried to go through, he was given, he collided with the Red Bull driver. That was so very close. So unless Eric pits this lap, I think he will. Just look at the state of his tires, the amount of graining on those tires. I'll be surprised if he extends. Yep. So Fondra into the net lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. However, that is not a position he will hold on for long. Does the AlphaTauri also go? No, he doesn't. So the only thing that is standing between Mr. Bardot here. Oh, he's just right on the tail of the AlphaTauri actually. Does he go through? No, he's right there. He's right there, man. He's right there. He's right there, man. Just let him by. Just let him by, man. Just let him by. He's gonna go for the outs. He wanted to try going for the move on the outside line. He just can't seem to do it. So Fonda right now is in P4. Yes, he's running P1, but with that penalty, he's running P4. There's so many yellow flags, man. So that's 3 active penalties. Yes, I'm counting driver by driver instead of incident by incident because I feel like I would be like hit across the face for that. So we're going driver by driver. So there are 3 active penalties, and there's been a 5-second penalty for Joel for collision with Tanner Bardot. And you saw it there. He just clipped his front wing there. So I would say Tanner's not having the most exciting of races. Then Joe just comes out of nowhere to strike him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Albano now comes into the pits, and Tanabardo will make a clean overtake past the Ferrari driver. So the Ferrari driver will not have as many opportunities to strike again as he would have hoped because Tanner is on the fresher tires. He is on the fresher compound, meaning that there's nothing that's gonna happen there. Now the battle between Joe as he just another and he's into the wall. He's into the wall, and Joe also has a 5-second penalty, and he spun round while trying to overtake Ocon, who is now a back marker of 5 active penalties. Now we are literally getting ever so closer to the threshold. You can just see the Joe going directly off track there. I mean, it's not track limits. The game does have a good track limits thing, but yeah. So Ocon goes for another set of hard tires being lapped, I presume. Yep, he's just been lapped right now, and 13 seconds between these drivers here. Tanner might go for a move, but once again he's being blocked. I feel like Tanner's the only driver here. I mean, he is in net P1, so Tanner really right now is the only driver who's been driving quite the clean race. I would assume. I would presume that. Yeah. So there's some food for thought. And all these drivers, since everyone's on the hard tire, I believe everyone here is going to extend on their stint. So all Tanner needs to do, he does not really need to go all that aggressive. All he needs to do is drive his race, keep within 15 seconds of Leo Fondraroli, and that'll basically guarantee him his race win. Now, who is in? Oh, this is so close, man. I don't like this. As for who is in net P2 right now, that's actually a good question. Yeah, who is in net P2? As we come across the line, you can see here, well, Tanner's now starting to slow down, even though he's on fresher tires than everyone in front of him. Back. So net P2, let's see, starting from the top, Fondra is down in P5, it seems. Net P5, but it's net P3. While Joe is now net P. You really can't tell because these gaps are definitely changing. But yeah, it seems as though Fondra is net P5 or net P4 or 5, and Joe is net P4. Right, meaning that our top three is Tenabado, Eric Littlethings, and Harpalata. Some of the things you see in Monaco, man. The things you see in Monaco. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 active penalties as of right now. As of lap 19 of 39 with 20 laps to go. You can just see here Tanner is gaining on Joe. But he will not somehow by the le merci à Dieu, the grace of God. He's one of the only drivers to have not incurred a penalty this entire race. So good on him. Good on him. The good lad, the good sport that he is. Yeah. Actually, have I paused the stream? I just wanna. Oh, there are 3 of you watching. Where that actually there's 6 of you watching. Yeah. It's rough out here. Joe's on 10 lap old tires. As long as Tanner doesn't absolutely let me not jinx anything. So the people that need to have very clean races are those without penalties, because there's a lot of opportunity within this race to gain some very, very good points, some very, very much needed points. Yeah. Ocon will go for the first time this season. He will go a race without points, as if you all remember that lap 1 is it? Oh, very nearly went for the move. He thought about it. He really did think about it. But now they've caught up to back markers, and you know what that means. It's time for some boo. It's time for some absolute simply lovely BS, man. So let's go on board with Joe. Joe passes the first back marker. Does Tanner? Yeah, he hits him. But the collision is not much. He'll have to go around the outside of these 2 back markers. Clears them nicely. That's how a driver should be clearing back markers. That's how back markers should be acting when they're being lapped. Sort of acting like some. Anyways, yellow flag sector 2. So now this just put Tanner at the disadvantage here, but only temporarily. As long as it's gonna be clean air. There's gonna be no back markers for either the Renault or the Red Bull until they reach Leonardo Fondaroli. Yeah. So it's all up to Tanner now. Will he now begin his charge to P1, or will he now begin quite a very different race? I might say. 5 second, another penalty for Fontaroli for colliding with Levi Graham while trying to lap him. What a driver! Nikita Mazepin of Formula 170. I should stop slandering Leo, bro. He's gonna. Oh, oh, oh! He's had quite the good race, but he's now net P5, definitively now net P5. So, I mean, as long if he isn't able to like, I don't know, pull a 20-second gap out of his out of nowhere, then the pace is not there. The pace is not there. So sometime very good, sometime very virtual safety car. Rafael Caetano has retired. Rafael Caetano with a problem has retired, bringing out the virtual safety car. Where is this guy? Where is this guy on the minute? Please tell me he hasn't despawned yet. Please tell me he hasn't despawned yet. He's probably despawned by now, but still. Yeah, he despawned. Oh man, I wanted to see what happened. So there is a virtual safety car. But the VSC's ending. Juan Carrero jumps the gun and goes into the pits. Does Fondroli go into the pits? No, he was too far back for that. He was very much too far back for that. So going now into these corners, it's very crucial for some people to keep a straight, clean line, as now Leo Fondroli will come into the pits. I want to see how Joe's clearing the house here. Yep, clears the house. Okay, good. So, how's your day? Oh, they're still waiting. And we're still waiting. And now we pit him for the medium tire. Wow, that was a complete guess, and I guessed it correctly. Yep. At least Ocon won't finish P20. That was a bad joke. That was a horrible joke, I should say. So going into the swimming pool section. Yeah, no. Actually, Joel, as in Joel, the Joel, is now in contention for the win right now. I mean, he does have a 5 second penalty, but still, he's in contention for the win right now. That's a crazy statement to say. A really, really crazy statement to say. Joe does not come into the pits. He will go ahead on his 4-lap older tires. Actually, Tanner Bardell has the best tires immediately in front of him and immediately behind him. So now it's just up to him to keep his cool, not do anything bad, and he'll have track position. He'll definitely have track position. That yellow flag in sector 1 definitely messed him up big time there. I could see he was gonna go for a move. 4 active penalties on track right now. Yep, 4 active penalties on track right now. So will we see anything? If you keep asking, if you ask the question, how, in your opinion, has this been the best race of the season so far? No, I will say no, it hasn't. But it is the Monaco Grand Prix. It is one of the most prestigious Grands Prix in all of motorsport, even if it delivers some let me say questionable racing at times, as seen by all the penalties. And if you look at the timing tower here, but yeah, no, as long as there's no yellow flag to come in sector 1, I believe Tanner definitely will get track position here. As long as Joe doesn't freaking block the racing line, he will. No, he's too far back for a move. Yellow flag in sector 3. Can you even be surprised? Track limits. First track limits warning for Ocon. That's something I haven't seen here. So yeah, Fondra has unfortunately dipped all the way down to P7 from P3 on the grid. So yeah, I think I get Reynolds' strategy here. They're not looking for a move. a move would be nice because then they get genuine track position, but they're not looking for that. They're looking for the win, and right now they've quite handily had the win in the bag. So your finishing order will be, as of right now, it could be Joel. No, Joe. Oh, Joe comes into the pits now on lap 25 off 39 to change his tires. What does he go for? What does he go for? What do you go for? Do you go for the mediums or the softs? I think Red Bull will go for the medium tire. He's doing yellow flag in sector 2, so will Joe get passed by Parland Albono? Yes, he will. Will he get passed by Eric Little Things? No, he will not, because Eric Little Things he's having quite the race in it. So now, officially, Tenabado has track position and is in position 1 of the Monaco Grand Prix. I believe he's in free air. Yep, he is definitely right now in complete free air until you get to, I believe, no, until what? Senna. Until you get to, so Senna's about to lap his own team. So these, some people are being lapped with 2 laps. So yeah, until you get to Senna here, who is now just gonna go for a move on Juan Carrero, I think. Oh no, that wasn't. That was to lap Williams. That's lapping Williams. He's lapped the Williams cars twice now. Jeez, man. What do you? What? Oh, Joel now comes into the pits, meaning that Paolo Albano will now go up into P2. Now the important thing is, can Eric Little Things pull out something miraculous? Will you be able to go ahead of him? As we go onto the main straight, it seems ever so unlikely. As we come to the end here, we go onto the pit straight. No. So crucially, that means that now Eric Little Things has been denied. But he just steamrolls past the Williams. There's been a yellow flag in Sector 3. However, that does not affect the racing in Sector 1. So can Eric Little Things guarantee a P3 finish today by getting past Joel here? So when Tanner pits, it's very dependent on when does Tanner Bardot pit. Because I can assure you Joe's not going to pit again. So will Tanner Bardot just extend his stint? I mean, going on to lap 28 now is 15. So that's another, so that'll be 26 lap old hard tires, which I don't think is possible. So faster Sector 3 goes to Joe, who is in P3. He's about to get past Albon. He just gets past the Mercedes of Alcon there, I believe. No, is that Carrero? No, that is Juan Carrero. So crucially, he's now caught up to Paul and Albon. So now we have 2 drivers looking to make moves on their on-track rivals. But I think, yeah, Eric has just dropped back a bit. He has. Okay, so you imagine you're Renault now. Okay, Renault actually have. Oh, I'm still at 6%. Wow, what amazing, how thrilling this is. So if you're Renault right now, when do you pit for softs? Because he's definitely gonna need to pit for softs. He's pit now. There's your answer there. So Paolo Albano is now into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Definitely, that's something I'm very sure of. And will Joel as well come into? I mean, he's now crossing the start-finish line. Yes, he will. No. Very crucially, no. Actually, yes, he does. So Tanner is, yes, he is on the soft tire, and yes, it is possible to overtake in Monaco, even with all of these challenges. Yeah, so he is definitely still on for P1, but however, our finishing order right now looks to be Joe, Albano, then Joe, Joe, then Bardot. I think around there. So can Joe do something? Will Joe do something? Here you just have a steaming fast Renault here. It's just absolutely looking to destroy anything and everything in its way here. Oh, just the back view of this car is absolutely frightening, isn't it? Absolutely frightening. Who stands now between Tanner Bardot and Joe? So here we go. Uphill. Joe thinks about a move. He just can't because the racing line. I don't know if you know, the racing line is being blocked here, but definitely no. Albano parks it on the racing line as well. Where are we going now? We're going into the hairpin here. You can just see how close all these cars are. From P1 all the way up until P4, these cars are super, super close together. But Bardol has the pace, he has the better tire. He will get past the Mercedes and he will assuredly get past the Ferrari. No, if there were no back markers there, then he would have. Oh no, there's no back markers. These are people for position. This is all for position now. All to play for here in Monaco, all separated by less than a second. And Joel has crashed. Crucially, this now means that Broski Joe is in the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix for the first time. And he immediately comes into the pits for his tires. What about Joel? Joel does extend his stint. However, crucially, Tana Bardo makes a beautiful move into turn 1 to P2. So now on lap 31 of 39, it will be these two for the race win. Eric Littlethings as well comes into the pits, meaning that Leo Fondraroli can actually finish where he started in P3 if he drives the race of a lifetime. But right now, it's looking like Joel will now take a podium. There's been a yellow flag in sector 3, but that's been quickly cleared. 5-second penalty for tap from Jupiter for trying to overtake Ocon. Ocon spins, freaking puts tap into the wall as they fight again. These two previous this is like in 2025 watching Verstappen versus Lewis. For those who know, that instead of fighting for P1 and P2, they're fighting for P10, P11. Up the hill we go with Mr. Tap from Jupiter. Ocon now firmly in P19. My goat. So, yeah. Was that a back marker yet to pass? Yes, it was. Okay. Now, crucially, there are no back markers that stand between Tana Bardo and Mr. Joe here. So, can Joe now get his second win of the season and really reel in Ocon in the championship fight? Because Ocon now is completely out of it now. So yeah, can he do this? Can Joe do this? He just needs to clear. Who's that? Who's in front of him? That's a Williams. I believe that's HTX, is it? No, that's not Eric. 5-second penalty for Joe for collision while trying to overtake Edward. And crucially, very, very crucially, this means that Tanner Bardo is now in the net lead of the race. You can see, I mean, he would have caught up on his own. However, it is very helpful to get a penalty, and we know the kind of level-headedness that this driver has. Joe now comes into the pits on lap 32 of 39, even though he does not need to at all. By the way, this is voluntary action by Red Bull Racing to do this, and Fondaroli will pass him onto the pit straight, meaning that Joe is now in net P2. Does Albano? Yes, Albano passes him. Does Eric Littlethings pass Joe? No, he doesn't. Okay. Actually, I thought they were gonna go side by side, but no, they're not going side by side. So yeah, I mean, we now have a Ferrari in a P2. So yeah, this is textbook example of a race win being thrown away at the last possible second due to pure strategy incompetency. I will assure you, pure strategy incompetency. Red Bull did not need to pit. That's the problem. Red Bull did not at all need to pit. Yes, they were passed on track, but they did not at all need to pit. For what? Yeah. So yeah. R.I.P. Joe P1. You will always remain in our hearts. So yeah, now definitively no one's challenging Tana Bardo for the win now. Fondra goes into the pits, meaning Paland Albano is now into position 3. Are there any back markers that may threaten this? Because I mean, Joe's like right there. Joe's right there, man. So he'll need to do some of that Albano defending. Yeah, I need to do some of that Albano defending, won't you? Ooh. Amen. You know what? I'm saying who, but this recent has been glorious. I mean, it's Monaco. No one likes racing in Monaco, as the fans would say. But for a reason, this is beautiful. Like you don't see this many penalties. You know, not this, not that. No, none of that. Just nice, clean, semi-clean, kind of racing action going on here. So 4 laps to go in the Monaco Grand Prix. Albano could very well go for a podium here. Onto the main straight we go. Joe's genuinely catching. He's very much gaining so much time on him. And Joe in the background there. He's hit freaking Levi Graham. Okay, but why does he get the penalty for going into the back of him? I feel like that's an undeserved penalty, right? So as FIA, am I abusing this title? As FIA? Yes. No, I'm not. As FIA, I will review this penalty. Just like how Pierre Gasly's P3 was reinstated in Monaco, I will the stewards will forgive Joe of this penalty incurred. Why? Because I mean, clearly, this is clear race evidence that he was trying to pass him, and he just moved under braking. So this is very, very clear evidence to me that I will not revoke Joe's 5 second penalty. Joe comes into the pits. Will Albano also come into the pits? Yes, he does, meaning that, well, either way, Joe is now into P2. All he needs to do is keep. Well, we're going to not even think about this penalty here. So now it is Bardo, Joe, and Eric Little Things for the win in the Monaco Grand Prix. 0.5 second penalty for HCX for trying to lap Anthony. Man, what a Monaco Grand Prix we're having here, man. 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 active penalties now. You may be looking at Rafael Cayetano's penalty like, oh, but what about him? No, you shut your big mouth because I'm not gonna count that because, well, you see, I said active penalties. I don't know if you know, but I think the Red Bull's not very active right now. Okay, yeah, nah? Yeah. So let's see. Actually, Joe can actually eke out a 5 second penalty on his. He can eke out 5 seconds to Eric Little Things on his own as long as there are no back markers, no Carlos Sainz in the equation here. Yeah, 15. That's about 3 seconds already. Okay, 2 to 3 seconds already dropped on him. So I mean, Joe can definitely do this as long as nothing happens. This freaking is that Ocon? No, that is. Yes, that is Ocon behind Joe. P1 and P2 in the championship. Never ever expected anything there. 5 second penalty for Eric Little Things for a collision with Ocon. Ooh shit. Freaking ooh shit, man. Ooh shit. Daniel Tipcom sets the fastest sector 3 times, but who cares, man? I'm joking, Tipcom. We love you, Tipcom. Yellow flag, sector 2. What the frick is going on in sector? What the heck? What's going on there, man? Is everything okay in the Unagi? Why are the cars so freaking close together? Like, genuinely, this is giving me, like, phobia of some. Of some. Yep. So, um, will I count the Eric Little Things penalty? Should I? Should I? Oh, I'm the FIA. I'm the FIA, so I can decide what I want. Ooh, shit. Freaking, ooh, shit. There's 3 people watching here. If it's Fondra watching, Fondra, man. I'm so, like, man, I'm so sorry for having to rescind the race, but I hope you can forgive me for that. Maybe you pull some magic. Yo, Joe. Calma, stay calma, stay calma, stay calma, stay calma. You see, when I said stay calma, I didn't mean physically stop on track but anyways. Onto the last lap of the Monaco Grand Prix. Is this nigga inside the? Oh, I said the N word. She said the N word, guys. Fondra. Okay, don't kill him now. Is he trying to lap or what? But he will now go Tenabardo. No one's been threatening him for a while. And we will have our 14th different race winner in Formula 170 as he rounds the final corners. He will see the checkered flag first. And this fabled race will be won by Tenabardo. Tenabardo wins the Monaco Grand Prix. In P2, we will still have a decided last lap action for that. Will it be Joe? Will it be Eric? Will it be Leo? But in P2, from basically nowhere on the grid, he's one said bad quali, bad race. But could it be bad quali, good race for this man in P2? Joe will round the final corners and take P2 on track. But what will that mean on the important thing is, does he finish 5 seconds ahead of Leonardo Fondraroli? And just by the skin of his teeth, he does. Joe will maintain his P2 finish. Man, I'm so tired, man. I'm so sorry, Tana. You are our 14th different race winner in Formula 170. That is something to be very, very proud of. And in this resum, I think I'm as an Ocon, I'm very mad about that. But beautiful. We will have a 14th different race winner in Formula 170, and for the first time, we will have Renault taking P1 in the grid. It will be a double podium for Renault Racing, Tenabado P1 at the end of the day. Okay. I'm just gonna let that sink in for you all, and we will put the podium ceremony very soon. Okay. I should be very, very much more excited. I'm sorry, Tana, but this race has absolutely drained me. Tana Bardol has won the Monaco Grand Prix. How do we feel about that? Tana Bardol takes the checkered flag first and wins the Monaco Grand Prix by over 16 seconds. To P2 strategy worked amazingly for Renault Racing. Ooh, okay, I'll get the podium. Give me a sec. Okay. The podium ceremony, the French anthem for Renault Sport F1 team, and for Tana Bardol.
How about this for Alpine, who've won as Benetton, who've won as Renault, won as Lotus, and now they've won as Alpine. That Enstone team will enjoy this for a while. Lewis Hamilton looks absolutely exhausted. Esteban Ocon, as you'd understand, absolutely elated. said. What a special, special moment for this young man on the track up. A rather
Oh, oh, oh. Okay, we've now come to the part of the Grand Prix where I give my final thoughts and fourth givings for the championship. I'm gonna keep this short because I'm so freaking tired, but at least the race went better than the first time round. And man, these freaking back markers, they're ruining the racing in these street circuits. I hope that this same case isn't made for when we go racing in Azerbaijan, when we go racing in Baku, when we go racing in Las Vegas, and all these tracks. I pray that the racing is absolutely different. But it is Monaco, and I think I should have expected that coming into this race. I thought we'd get very clean racing, but I'm just quite drained from that. But congrats to Tenabado for being our 14th different race winner in Formula 170, and very, very good for his championship charge, and for Joe as well. Ocon has now not scored for the first time in a Grand Prix this season, meaning that the points difference in the championship has now swung massively. I have no idea what happened at the start of their race for Ocon there and for Tap from Jupiter as well, putting them both out of contention. But tomorrow, or as we say in Spanish, la mañana, we will go racing in Espanol. Porque, I'm joking. But en français, on dit au revoir et c'était un très bien cours pour l'équipe Renault et pour les WDC, pour les championships, c'était trop fort cours. Yeah, but you know what? I don't speak French, I speak Italian.